Here we come, walking down the street. We get the funniest looks from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the Monkees.
P.J. Lennon and Monkee Business, a tribute to the granddaddy of country rock, Michael Nesmith.
Put anybody down.
Part 3, the rise to respectability and the influence that Mike had on country rock. The prison was called variously a brilliant multimedia concept marrying the personal and inner visual experience of Michael Papanez Nesmith's novella with the oral medium of an equally original soundtrack. However, music journalist and self-styled Dean of American Rock Critics Robert Christgau called it a ghastly box audio allegory with book. Michael embarked on a very short promotional tour in England in support of the prison and performed live on BBC Radio 1 on November the 27th, 1975. During this time, Michael created a video clip for Rio, which in a roundabout way helped encourage him to create a television programme called Pop Clips for the Nickelodeon cable network. Michael's Pop Clips was sold to the Time Warner Amex consortium. Time Warner Amex developed Pop Clips into what became the MTV network. He won the first Grammy Award in 1981 in the category Video of the Year for his hour-long elephant parts. He then hosted a series, Michael Nesmith in Television Parts, run by NBC in 1985. It was a 30-minute comedy variety series created by him following his Grammy Award-winning video production Elephant Parts and earlier series Pop Clips.
Here we are. It's my first video record, which is really neat, and it's a lot different than a phonograph record, which I've been making, because I can see you and I can talk to you, which I like a whole lot. You should have a whole lot of fun with these things. And listen, now that I can talk to you, I want to bring something up. Does anything seem funny to you about these gasoline prices? Like for 25, 35 cents a gallon you could get it just a few years ago. And then suddenly there's this big doomsayers coming out saying there's no more oil on the planet. We're running out of gasoline. We're running out of oil. Black gold, law of supply and demand, is going to drive the price up just completely out of sight. Now I'm waiting in line 7, 8, 9 hours. The gas stations are open only 2, 3 hours, something like that. I can't even get gas. Nobody does anything for my car when I go into a gas station. Prices go up, $1.50, $2 a gallon. They're getting higher and higher. And then suddenly, there's plenty of gasoline. Now, I don't know where it came from, but it strikes me a little strange. And the prices didn't come back down. They're still up to some exorbitant sum. Isn't somebody supposed to be watching out for this stuff? I mean, it's, governors or mayors or presidents, don't they watch out for this kind of stuff?
It's your first record.
This is Bill Deere. He's the director.
Comedy. Comedy and music. People don't want to know from social. They want to know comedy from you. Comedy and music. Jungle set. 5 minutes.
Well, there's something funny about the gasoline price.
The first episode was a standalone television special which aired on March 7, 1985. The programme included many other artists who were unknown at the time but who went on to become major stars in their own right. Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, Gary Shandling, Whoopi Goldberg all became well-known artists after their appearances on Michael's show. The basic concept of the show was to have comics make their stand-up routines into short comedy films, much like the ones in Elephant Parts. Michael assembled writers Jack Handy, William Martin, John Levenstein and Michael Kaplan, directors Mickey Dolenz, William Deere, Alan Meyerson and producer Ward Sylvester to create the show. The half-hour show ran for 8 episodes in the summer of 1985. Pacific Arts Video became a pioneer in the video home market, producing and distributing a wide variety of videotaped programmes. But it eventually ceased business after an acrimonious contract dispute with the American network PBS over home video licensing rights and payments to several series, including Ken Burns' The Civil War. The dispute escalated into a lawsuit that went to trial in federal court in Los Angeles. On February 3, 1999, a jury awarded Michael and his company, Pacific Arts, $48.8 million in compensation and punitive damages, prompting his widely quoted comment, "It's like finding your grandmother stealing your stereo. You're happy to get your stereo back, but it's sad to find your grandmother's a thief."
The quietness of the road. You were warm as winter snowflake settled on your hair.
was the executive producer for the movies Repo Man, Tapeheads and Time Rider, as well as his own solo recording and film projects. In 1998, Michael published his first novel, The Long Sandy Hair of Neptune Samora. His latest album, Rays, was released on April 4th, 2006. During the 1990s, Michael, as trustee and president of the Gihon Foundation, hosted the Council on Ideas, a gathering of intellectuals from different fields who were asked to identify the most important issues of the day and publish the results. In 1992, Michael undertook a concert tour of North America to promote the CD release of his RCA solo albums. Although he included the song Rio from the album From a Radio Engine of the Photo Wing, the concert ended at the Brit Festival in Oregon. A video live at the Brit Festival and a CD live at the Brit Festival were released.
Now here's Michael Nesmith.
Her name was Joanne, and she lived in a meadow by a pond. And she touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. Then the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw as she went a most hopeless situation for Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. She was only a girl, I know that well, but still I could not see that the hold that she had was much stronger than the love she felt for me. But staying with her and my little bit of wisdom broke down her desires like a light through a prism into yellows and blues, and a tune that I could not have sung. Oh, the essence is gone. I have no tears to cry for her. My only thoughts of her are kind. Her name was Joanne, and and she lived in a meadow by a pond. And she touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. And the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw as she went a most hopeless situation for Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. Is gone. I have no tears to cry for her. My only thoughts of her are kind. Her name was Joanne, and she lived in a meadow by a pond. She touched me for a moment with a look that spoke to me of her sweet love. Then the woman that she was drove her on with desperation, and I saw as she went a most hopeless situation for Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run. For Joanne and the man and the time that made them both run.
In 1995, he reunited with the Monkees to record their last studio album, and the first to feature all four since Head, titled Just Us, released in 1996. He also wrote and directed a Monkees television special, and briefly toured the UK with the band in 1997. Michael's first novel, The Long Sandy Hair of Neptune Samora, was developed originally as an online project and was later published as a hardcover book by St Martin's Press. Michael's second novel, The American Gene, was released in July 2009 as an online download from videoranch.com. Michael spent a decade as a Board of Trustees member of the American Film Institute and is currently President and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Gihon Foundation. And Michael's current project is Video Ranch 3D, a virtual environment on the internet that hosts live performances at various virtual venues inside the ranch.
Michael Nesmith, an intriguingly, intensely intelligent man who is self-taught in everything he has ever done. He has achieved in his life things that most of us dream about, but the more that one learns about Michael, the more that one wants to learn about him. Papa Nez, the granddaddy of country rock.